So, welcome to East Meets West on Leadership. And as you know, I have Coach Harish from India, where we discuss on leadership and some of our learnings and some of our content, some experience, some tips and our advices that can help you in your leadership journey. And as I bring him on the screen, you're going to hear today some of his teachings, some of his experience from last week in his conference. So, Coach Harish, welcome, and we look forward to hearing from you and some of your learning, some of the things that you can challenge us as leaders at this part of the world. So what do you have for us today?
Namaste and thank you very much. Good evening from India, Mumbai, and good afternoon to people in Guyana and that part of the world. Life is becoming difficult now. Some people are entering into India and creating chaos from South Africa, and other countries, and there's a fear of the third wave coming in. That's the topmost agenda for the Indian government now to address. With this, they are preparing restrictions for all of us for travel within the state, out of the state. I was in a city called Ahmedabad, which is the capital of Gujarat, for 2 days, 27th and 28th. And I had some great, vibrant sessions. The leadership team of Lions International, international organizations present in more than 150 countries globally, the district governor invited me to give a talk on reset your mindset to all the business owners, leaders, and the district leadership team. There were almost 98 people listening to me for 4 hours. This was on Saturday, the 27th. And I'm so overwhelmed to share that they were so happy that finally they said, we learned something we never learned in our life. And coming from people who are 65, 60, 55, 50, 45, 40, 35, and 30. So now you would love to know what I spoke. This was the first day that I did, almost 98 people, which are head count, and this was a paid event. And 28th was with business owners, plus those lions who could not attend the previous day. So let me share you my story for the first day, 27th. You know, people have done their school, college, and graduation, and they have gone into business, either their forefathers' business or their own chosen business, or as a professional, they moved into business or continue to be professionals. The biggest thing that I learned and I shared with them was there was lack of new knowledge. Shanti, you and me have been acquiring knowledge every day from our gurus. John Maxwell, our guru who teaches us more about leadership, my coach and your coach, action coach, Brad Sugars, Marshall Goldsmith, and Les Brown. We've been learning every day. What I could see was a lack of learning. I asked them the question, why did you not learn? And why do you invest on eating out, having good food, having good furniture, having lampshades worth thousands of dollars? Why did you not invest in yourself in learning? And they said, we have had opportunities, but we could not focus because there were distractions in our life. So that is where I pose this question. Are you ready to reset your mind, your habits, your friends, your willingness to do something new in the business you have chosen and move from what you have been doing over and over again and been there where you are to something new, different, to become a new person? They said yes. So it was an engaging session. Just imagine leadership touching their toes when I did the wiffle with them, when I did my action coach exercise with them. They were enjoying it, clapping it, and they were willing to learn. What I felt was either they could not attract the right teacher, or the people who came and taught, the message was without a purpose. You know why I say that? I told them and mentioned categorically, I address only quality people, which my Les Brown taught me. OQP. In life, you have to have only quality people. And that you will have provided you also want to become a quality person. How can you become a quality person when you have your 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. every day tied up? Tied up means writing down all the areas where you need to listen, learn, and grow and become the person you need to become. There has to be self awareness, self discipline, self approval, and self fulfillment. These four words made an impact. And then I said, make some promises today in front of these 100 people. You will stop complaining, you will stop criticizing, you will stop gossiping, you will stop worrying, and you will stop procrastinating. They had a problem in using the word procrastinate. Some people said prostrate. I said, yes, that also stops that also stops certain things from coming out. So it was fun, it was learning, and I told them there has to be consistency once this clarity has come. And you need to communicate with yourself the three C's which I talk about: clarity, consistency, and communication. Communicate with yourself. Do I really want to be a great leader? Do I really want to own a great business? Do I really want to show empathy to people who work with me? Do I really want to care for those people? And do I want to do this in a calm, collected, and a decent environment, without vulgarity, without anger, without stiffness? And they said yes. So I said, I'll give you a 2 day program, especially for you. 20 people group at a hill station which is close to Ahmedabad, Mount Abu. And I'll give you a starting price of 50,000 rupees per person for those 2 days, which is about $700 US. I quoted the original price at 1,000, but I said for all those first 20, I'll do at $700 for 2 days plus accommodation. And I will change your life. I mentioned it. And when you come there, come with the attitude of learning. Don't come with the attitude of I know. If you know, why are you here? And you have achieved where you are. I will take you from where you are today to where you need to be so that you can share that I am a winner and I'm not a loser and I'll continue to win. And most important part which I mentioned to them was I will help you. I will help you write your Mount Everest so that before you hang up your boots as a leader, you know you have to achieve and climb the Mount Everest. And I shared with them, even Edmund Hillary failed twice. And he mentioned to Mount Everest, "You will stay there. I will come back next year and climb." And he finally climbed in 1953 on the 29th of May. So, creating an environment of learning, creating an environment of becoming better, creating an environment of looking yourself to become a learner. And there was no age bar for learning. And this was fun. And two people from a bank, they invited me to address their team in the evening. And they said, "We will invite you next month to help us write our business plan for the next year." So, engagement with people who are hungry, engagement with people who are willing to learn, and every leader who is willing to learn will always grow himself. Learn more, earn more. This philosophy has to come. Those leaders who don't learn every day, their behavior changes to the other side. Their behavior becomes difficult. Their behavior becomes, they are not using emotion as a tool to grow their team. Emotionally, connection is the result which you get. And if you're disconnected emotionally with yourself and with your team or with your family, the results won't come. So these basics help them understand. And finally, when we finished the 3 hour session, they all shared this. It was great listening to you, learning from you, and we enjoyed and looking forward to more in times to come. So I shared with the district governor, let's prepare a curriculum for them for 2022 for learning how to serve better to the humanity, because Lions International is meant to serve the humanity globally. So,
Yep.
how do we serve together? How do we grow together? And how do we earn more to serve more? And that was brilliantly accepted. And looking forward to some great times in 2022 with these people. That's my story, and I'm
And
sticking
it's a
to it.
great story. There are a few things that came to my mind as you were speaking, and it's a lot about learning. And I am so glad, when you are meet people that is open to learning, and you ask the question as to why, you know, what were they doing? Why weren't they learning all these years? And yes, and I see all adults, especially, are so busy, right? And we're so busy, as you said, our calendar is filled from the time we wake up to the time we go back to bed. And some of us go to bed till midnight and what's not, and then wake up and you're going at it. And so, indeed, I hear, I want to say excuses as to why we're not learning. Why are we not learning to get better? And indeed, I think all these parts of life keep flooding, and we are unable to, I would say, manage ourselves within that 24 hours as to what can we do, and do as in our learning, the growth part of it. And I think if we don't set aside time, I can believe, every minute of your day is going to be taken up by something. It will always be taken up by something if you don't put a stop to say, you know what, I want to read this book out. I want to listen to this program. I want to maybe take this course, whatever it is. But I see that, listening what you shared there with those leaders is that if you're not learning too, how are you going to institute learning with your team? Because you want your companies to get better, you want your organizations to prosper and achieve its purpose. But then, if you're not learning, you're not growing. And if you're not growing, then your organization is not growing, your team is not growing. And then also, if you're not growing, then you're not, encouraging your team that they should also be learning and growing. So what happened is that you find that the organizations are they're at a standstill, and you want to see, after a while this standstill starts deteriorating because their service starts going down, the employee morale start going, and so everything start crumbling, and then you wonder why a nation is where it is. But it takes little organization, communities that start breaking down, and that's where we end up in a state. And sometimes something little as the word learning, people take for granted that, some people after high school for us in Ghana, or after achieving maybe a degree or some certificate, they just stop learning. And I'm not saying learning in a sense of going and get some, certificate, but I'm saying learning in the sense that not even investing in themselves to even attend a conference, or maybe even buy a book or to just read, or something small as that. Or even sometimes we are open up to free, information. You have YouTube, you have so many content that is out there for us to learn, but yet we're not learning, right?
But Shanti, why? Why don't they want to learn?
So I'm thinking of it's a culture. Is it something, in people that they're not motivated to
And
learn?
and those very person send their children abroad to learn.
Yes,
They will
that's
invest on their children to learn from the best in the world and not learn themselves. Why?
so.
Why
I
do
think
they
it's an
behave in this manner?
unconscious state.
There needs to be some shaking up.
Yep.
A strong shaking up. You know what? I'll share with you a instance during the first day program. I asked them to write down, take notes. I prepared a booklet for them and I gave it to them as a gift. Everybody was writing except for two people. I said, "Why don't you write?" He said, "I don't want to write." I said, "Why are you here?" He had no response. I said, "If you don't want to learn, because what I will share, you will forget in the next 5 minutes because something new will come. And unless you write, take notes, you will not remember what I said first time, second time, third time, and the full 2 hours, you will not be able to share what you learned." You know what? He had a very strong resistance. And when I asked him what profession, he said, "I'm an advocate." Advocate by profession, for whom nobody will advocate him for his job, for his work. I felt sad that people have got fixed, stiff mindsets, not a flexible and a growth mindset. Out of 98 people, two people did not obey, and they gave me a lot of negative energy. At one point of time, I was willing to move out of the room because people cannot afford to suck my energy. They have no business to suck my energy when it is my program. However, I said, let go. Let go and think that they are not there in the room. So, why I share this incident is because people are stiff and it takes a while to move them from a dirty habit, not listening, not obeying, looking at becoming the champion, talking to people that, yes, I know it, I know better. I said, if you knew better, you would not be sitting here. If you knew better, you wouldn't be coming for this program. If you were running $1 billion enterprise, you don't need it because you already have it with you. So, some people want to learn and very eager to learn. And the senior most person, the district governor, was so happy. He said, I've learned so many things today which I would love to put into practice within the leadership in Lions, within the leadership in my organization, and within the community that I belong to. So, Shanti, there is a willingness, there's a desire, there's an intention. And once you have all these things in place, then you run, jump, and become the person you always wanted to become. That is why we focus on dreams, goals, plan, action, and results. Because there has to be a plan. And that plan will come once you can think big, dream big, and then become big. You cannot stay the same person forever. I mean, if that was the case, I wouldn't be where I am. 10 years back, I was different. 20 years back, I was different. 30 years back, I was different. And 40 years back, when I started my career, I was a novice. But all this came to me after I passed out of college, went into my first job, learned at the first job, then got the leadership role, and 83 to 2021 is a long journey in leadership.
Yep. I thought of the time frames, and I remember learning that after 18 months of whatever you've learned, it's outdated. And so sometimes I wonder, some of our leaders, if they understand that they might be in a state where they think that they know it all. So who can teach me anything? Who are you to come and say anything? But what they've learned is already outdated. And if you don't keep upgrading yourself, you will be. I like to use the television. I could remember our first television was a really big something. Now the television actually is on a small thing like this here now. So if you're not keep
And it is
upgrading yourself,
quicker, faster, and easy to operate
yep, it's very
at the
much
press of a button.
user friendly.
Yeah.
But indeed, as leaders, if we don't see the need to keep learning and keep growing, we and our strategies, our mentality, everything will be outdated. And that's why something becomes so hard now, because you can't keep up with what's going on, because you have signed off how much years back you've signed off as to you're growing and learning. But I also thought of, why are they not learning? And you talk about quality, quality in the maybe the leaders that they have, maybe the quality of education, maybe the quality of the mentors, and everything had an impact too as to why people are not learning. Who is challenging them to actually move beyond where they're at, and be inspired to do more with their lives, to be able to influence more people. So if there's not that quality people surrounding them, I don't see it happening. And they say that when the student is ready, the teacher will show up. So
So they have a choice. They
yep,
have a choice to move away and get new company, new learning, new surroundings, and better people.
definitely.
You have a choice. Where do you want to live? With whom do you want to live? With good people, quality people, learned people, so that you can learn more and earn more and become more. That choice is yours, that intention is yours. Or otherwise, you can go the wrong way. You can still be bad and ugly and remain bad and ugly and be proud to be bad and ugly.
I think they're in a denial state.
But
And some
why? Why are they in denial state?
so they denial means that they don't know
And they
actually.
exercise
They don't
power.
know.
They show power. Politicians, people who have less knowledge, show power.
Yep.
People who have more knowledge, they are calm, collected, reasonable, flexible, adaptable, and willing to listen, learn, and make a decision. Very simple. You can see the difference between a learned and a not so learned person. because his priorities are different. He will not come to fight fits. He will only speak from his mind and make an intelligent question and get the right solution for those people. And it's all about focus. If you want to learn, like I never learned so much when I was playing cricket in my early stages, in my early 19s and 20s. But now I have only to listen, learn, read, listen to a couple of videos every day. That is a desire, a strong desire to learn, grow, and then I share. Every morning you see, I share one, two, three quotes. When I learn from great people, I share it. Because only if you share, that means you care. And when you care for people, they will be a part of your community. And they look forward to you every day to learn something new. When you ask a leader, what new did you learn today? If they are blank, that means they are not investing on learning. And
Yep.
then they say, I was too busy. A person who cannot manage time is not a leader. A person who cannot fulfill his commitment is not a leader. A person who has the courage to say, I will do more in less is a leader. No leader says, I'm busy. I'm sorry. He has to define his priorities. He has to list out. That's why diaries are made. That's why people write, commit their time. Why do we meet every Thursday at 10 p.m.? Because it's registered here. We have to meet, we have to share, we have to care, we have to share our experiences, and we're going to learn from each other. That's why we called it Leadership East and West. And today we are 10 episodes down. That means we are working together on the journey to share our learnings with the people in this country and in that country. And through our experience, if they can grow, we'll be happy and proud.
Yep. Indeed. The goal is to see that people live, I would say, a fuller life, a more significant life.
And deliberately, they want to do it, they do it.
Yep.
Intentional.
Intentional. Exactly.
You remember intentional living by our great John Maxwell?
Yep.
People live to live intentionally.
Hmm.
This is what I want. This is what I get, and I deserve it.
Yep.
Leadership is all about being intentional.
You gotta want it. Maybe
Yes.
I think, as people get older, some people, the desire for certain things have just, I would say, dead or gone cold.
With me, it has become otherwise, opposite.
So that's why it's important that, what you said, that there's no age limit to learning. And that, like for me, I tell everyone that on my deathbed, I would still be learning. There's so much to learn, and so much that you don't know. And if you keep telling yourself, look, I know this person can't help me, this person can't add no value to me, then you have actually shut off. And how are you actually going to be any better?
Shanti, the power of why has to be thought about.
Yep.
Why do we behave the way we behave? Why do we do the way we do? And think deliberately, is this the way we want to live a life? Is that my behavior which needs to be addressed? The way I speak, the way I listen, the way I talk, the way I give people. Why? You're supposed to educate people. And you, as coaches, mentors, teachers, are more responsible to make that shift in those leaders who are vulnerable today, who are unable to get out of that scarcity mentality to abundant mentality. It's very important because they have fear, and they have so much of fear that they have lost their confidence. They have lost the way to move ahead, and they are stagnating. On the contrary, they are going down. Why? What do they need? They need somebody who can teach them, take them on the journey back. They've been derailed get them back on the rail, and let's take them to the destination that they deserve to be. And we are ready to serve them so that they get hold of that, what they deserve to become. And I am happy to do this, take them on the journey. And that's my story, and I'm proud of it.
Yes, Coach. Thank you for sharing. And indeed, it's a challenge now from us, to the leaders out there to continue learning. And I think a great leader is one who have high self-awareness. So at the end of every day, to ask yourself, what did I learn today? Because if you didn't learn anything today new, you haven't grown from yesterday. You're just at the same level. So it's a challenge to everyone that is listening. Don't stop your learning. Whatever it takes, even if it's just 20 minutes or 10 minutes every day, you're investing your time into learning, listening to something that will, add value to you so you could go on to add value to others. Then I think that's one of our greatest purpose is to keep adding value to others. And so if you're not adding value, then it could be that you don't have. So you can't give what you don't have, as John Maxwell said. So,
That desire has to come. That desire has to come.
so I
Desire is missing.
Yeah, definitely. So you have to have that desire and that intentionality that, I want to add value to my team, add value to my family, add value to my neighbors and my friends and, the people that are surrounding you. How can you help them? How can you, in some little way inspire them also for greatness? So it starts with
Very
you. I do believe change starts with you. It starts with me, so changes from inside here before it can go out. And so that's why we're doing these programs so that we help the leaders to start with you and the change that will be used to transform the people around you so that we can have better leadership around. Yes.
They need to start thinking, why do they do what they do? And what do they achieve as results? Two questions only.
Yep.
Why do they do what they do and what results they are getting? They need to focus on these two aspects. And if you're not getting the great results that you deserve, realign, refocus, get in touch with that. What is missing in you that you need to do to become the person you need to be and move in this direction to guide the youth of tomorrow, the leader of tomorrow to become better and better and better.
So thank you, Coach, and thank you for those who are listening. And let me repeat those two questions. You know, why do you do what you do, and what are the results are you getting? I would add that is that what you want? So why you're doing it, and I would say write it down. Why am I doing whatever it is you're doing? And then say to yourself or answer the question, what is this doing for me? Is it helping me on getting closer to my goals, or is it driving me away? What is the result you're getting, and is that the result you want? And if that is not the result you want, then you need to change your strategy and maybe look back at
And
why.
and learn from some great people.
Yeah. So go invest into maybe a mentor, or any, you can do it in many different formats. So
Go and invest with a Shanti or a Harish and learn more, grow more, and become more.
definitely.
That,
Thank you,
that's
Coach.
the idea. And looking forward to meeting you again next Thursday, same time, India, and same time at
Okay.
Shanti's home in Guyana.
Yes, this is East meets West on leadership. Enjoy.
Thank you.